Oh my God, a live spotlight. What about it? Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Department of Theater Student Works Project. We are bringing you live theater on the Jacksonville University campus, and we couldn't be happier to have that happen. Thank you for coming on this beautiful night on the banks of the St. Johns River. My name is Debbie Jordan. I am a professor of theater in Jacksonville and the producer of this show, and we couldn't be happier than to have you guys here tonight. What you're going to see tonight are projects that students brought. We had a submissions process where they had to do a budget proposal, it had to go through committee, and what we ended up with is 3 really nice programs. Tonight what you're going to see is the world premiere of a play by Jalice Corral, and it's directed by senior theater minor, music theater major, Zach Rivera. You're going to see him in just a second. But before we get things rolling here, I just have a few people that I need to thank to make this possible. Bambi Brumbage and Noel Parker. They were instrumental in helping us secure this location and to make it so beautiful for you guys here tonight. Yay. Barry Stein, College of Fine Arts Dean Tim Snyder. He realized my vision to do live theater here, and he pushed that idea forward along with Associate Dean Dana Tupa. I also want to thank Candace Dickens. She is our technical director, and she helped us all get this together. But just let me tell you guys this. This is a student-produced production, which means that these students, on top of a full schedule in classes, as well as main stage theater productions, these are the projects that they love and have sunk their artistic intelligence and so forth into. So we are so excited to support them. We're so excited to have you guys here. I want to introduce to you Mr. Zach Rivera. He is the director of Extra Mother. Get on up here, Dave.
Hi, everybody. I'm not going to take too much time up here because we want to get started. But hi, I'm Zach Rivera. I directed Ask Your Mother, and I just wanted to reiterate a few things. Specifically, the trigger warnings. This is a real heavy show, and in case you didn't see any of the promotional material, this play does include talk of suicide, self-harm, drug use, sexual assault, child abuse, and death. So please be advised that if any of this is triggering for you, any of this content, then respond accordingly. I also just want to say that there are some comment cards on everybody's seat or table and some pencils. This play is in its developmental process with playwright Jalice Corral, and I know that she would super appreciate it if everybody answered a few of those questions for her. You can link on to the show, nothing too stressful. But thank you for coming.
My father didn't understand the difference between a fire axe and a wood axe. What kind of man can't tell the difference between a fire axe and a wood axe? And maybe that's why he raped my mother, because he couldn't tell the difference between sex and rape. He raped her a couple times. I think in the first year or so they were married. She told me that, but he might have raped his other girlfriends before they were together. Mom wasn't sure. She didn't know any of my dad's old girlfriends very well, except for Cindy. You know, on a TV show where a character has a kid, and then the other characters on that show are that kid's auntie such and such, or Uncle so-and-so, even though they're not related at all. That was my Aunt Cindy. I didn't know that, though. I always thought she was my real aunt, my mom's older sister, until some lawyer or judge or some dickhole in the suit told me otherwise. But she is my godmother and my guardian. Aunt Cindy dated my dad when my mom and my dad were her students. She was their literature professor. And I think that she may have took his virginity. I mean, I can't know for certain. Dad and I didn't really talk about that kind of stuff. I mean, we never even had the birds and the bees talk. After my first growth spurt, my dad told me not to put my dick anywhere it doesn't belong, and that was it, really. I think because when Cindy and my mom were raped by the same guy, they developed a special bond from it. They would go on these girls' trips, usually to Aunt Cindy's cabin, but it wasn't hers. She inherited it from her ex-husband. He left it to her when he died. And I never met him, but Aunt Cindy said he was obsessed with her. But like a good obsessed. Like sending cupcakes to her work, leaving her a wooded cabin, mailing scraps of his hair. You know, a good obsessed. I mean, not the bad kind of obsessed. Not the hiring a hitman to fake a robbery and shoot her in front of an ATM camera so he could get the life insurance money kind of obsessed. That was Dad's kind of obsessed. The cabin's nice, but it's out in the middle of nowhere, so someone has to go by once or twice a year to keep it up, you know, turn the water on, check the fuse box, spray for moss, dust. So a week or so before they would go up there, Dad would take me. And the last thing we always had to do was chop the fire. I don't know why, because the cabin had an electric fireplace. I guess they just liked the look of a symmetrically arranged wood pile by the fireplace. But Dad didn't understand that there was a difference between the kind of axe firemen used to break down doors and the kind you used for chopping wood. Every time, we would have the same argument about it. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I know we're a couple minutes in, and I've made you comfortable with me being up here alone, and now would be the proper time to, establish another character, provide you with some voice or stance that if I return to in 10 minutes, you'll know what I'm doing. But I'm not going to do an impression of my dad, because my mom used to say that I yawned how my dad yawned, and I slouched how my dad slouched, and that's kind of scary, because he was a rapist. He raped my mom. I mean, I loved him. He was an okay dad, and he was really good at bowling, but he was a rapist, and I don't want to look like a rapist, especially my mom's rapist. So, shit. Hey, Adrian, you around?
Yeah, what's up?
Can you come to the bed with my dad?
I don't know those guys.
You don't need him. Just be an intimidating male presence. Okay. So I say, hey Dad, where'd you get that axe? No, I mean, where did you buy it when you first got it? There's no way it came with their car. No, it didn't. No, it did not. But what kind? Because you can't use the axe for chopping wood. You know what I mean. I don't know. But what I do know is you can't use an axe for chopping wood. That much I do know. You know what? Fine. Mom's right. You never listen. You only hear what you want to hear from me. Something like that. Every single time. Thanks, Avery.
No problem, man.
He was like that all the time. My dad. Not Avery. Avery is great. Avery doesn't remind me of my dad at all. That's probably why I have a crush on him. I think that's part of it. Really. I'm not gay. I mean, we can go on, but before we go on, I don't want you thinking that. I'm not gay. So, I have a girlfriend, so it's not like that. But my dad, you could never tell my dad he was wrong. Ever. I mean, he killed my mom for one of two things. It was either because she crashed his car or because she laughed at him when he spilled juice on his shirt. I mean, she thought it was so funny. It was so fucking funny. Now that I think about it, I was laughing a lot too, and he didn't pay to have me killed, so yeah, it was definitely the car. I mean, it wasn't even a nice car, but it was his car. And he acted like she did it on purpose. Like it was some sort of like a big fuck you. I mean, she couldn't say no, she couldn't push it back, she couldn't get her money, she couldn't eat what she wanted, she couldn't keep her tampons in the bathroom. But she could fall asleep behind the wheel of his car and swerve it into a telephone. She tried to set herself on fire once, like the monks protesting the Chinese occupation of Tibet. I mean, which, I support the liberation of Tibet, obviously, as well as the reinstation of the Dalai Lama, of course. But my issue is it really non-violent if the violence is self-inflicted? I mean, sure, you're not hurting anybody, except your own body. I can explain. It makes sense. I promise. So when you're married, they join you, body and soul, forever. Now the soul part I get. You're already soulmates, or you should be. You would be, ideally. But the body part, it's a metaphor for sex. The joining of two bodies, a fusion, a tie that can never be untied, taking out the untamed star of your soul and switching it with someone else's, and switching back, and switching back, and switching back, and switching back, until you switch so many times you're not really sure which one is yours anymore. And it'll never go back to the way it was because there comes a back star all over this one. Half your body is gone. They have one of your feet, one hand, one eye, one lip, one nostril, and 10 feet of your small intestine. And you have theirs. They hurt, you hurt. You hurt, they hurt. Sex. And sex isn't the same as rape, the same way tattoos aren't the same as scars. Sex is about, I don't know, whatever you want to make it about. But rape isn't about that. Rape is about power and control and hate and other imposing words. And you don't rape someone because of how they look. You rape someone because you want to hurt them. But if you're joined body and soul, then you really aren't hurting anyone at all. And if the inflictor is the victim, then it's still non-violent. That's how my dad would think about it. He jumped the hoops like that. And then after going from one half-sense idea to another, he'd get to the end of a thought, and he'd justify himself. You've only hurt a part of yourself, you haven't hurt anyone at all. But he hurt Mom, and he hurt her a lot. That's why she tried to set herself on fire. She didn't think I was home, and that's important. She wouldn't have done it if she thought I might see. And she was a decent mom. When I was like 7 or 8, I was supposed to be at school, and my dad came in my room and told me it was a snow day. And I don't know if he was telling the truth or not. I don't know, maybe he knew Mom was upset, or maybe he wanted me there. And Mom had on this really big fur coat that pumped behind her on the floor. It was way too big for her. I think it was Aunt Cindy's. And I went downstairs, and when I went downstairs, Mom was standing out in the open doorway, like by the kitchen, like under the door frame. And I went to go pour a bowl of cereal, and turn around, and I hear a click. And I turned back around, and Mom had lit herself up like a Christmas tree. And she also, kind of looked like a Christmas tree. And so she didn't, run around or scream. She had just kind of sit there. With her arms out. She was thinking about, wore a flammable coat, used a napkin lighter instead of a butane, stood out in front of the open door so she wouldn't burn the whole house down, probably just the kitchen. But still, to not check that I wasn't upstairs asleep in my bed. At least Sylvia Plath knew where her kids were when she shoved her head in the oven. And then, I don't know, I saved her life, I guess. Pushed her out of the door into a snowbank. First-degree burns on her legs and hands, and a little second-degree burn on her neck where her coat combusted with her perfume. That part scarred really bad, so she started wearing necklaces and scarves to cover it up. And the coat took most of the damage, but her hair was singed. We went right from the hospital to the hair salon to get it fixed. And my mom went to this really, really expensive, like really fancy hair salon. It was because Aunt Cindy was a part owner or knew the owner or something.
She was a silent partner.
You ready, Jellimore?
Is the bed with the hairdresser?
Yeah.
Where's the scissors?
Should be over there with the mirror and everything.
Yep, got it.
Where do you want me?
Just over there. What was her name again? Martinique.
Her name was Martina. She had this encyclopedia of haircuts that she wouldn't let any of the other hairdressers look at. She opened it on my mom's lap and she flipped through it going,
This one or this one? That one or that one? Oh, that one or this one? That like that. This like this.
And so Mom said, just do what you can. If you have to shave it, I won't be mad. I'll understand. So I think Martina probably knew. I mean, or at least some of it. I mean, the bandages were still there. There was only so much that we could do. She put her hand on Mom's shoulder and she said,
We'll do something fun. We'll do something nice.
always we.
We'll start with the most damaged stuff. We'll treat it so it grows back the same. We won't shave anything.
We. Like, Mom was doing the work too.
You'll be okay.
I don't think I was supposed to hear any of that. I mean, I don't think I was supposed to be there at all. I mean, a hair salon is a place for women to be around other women and do those, those little taps on the arm, little half smiles, speaking softly. Those coded things that really say,
I don't know what's going on, but I know it isn't okay.
but they all pretend to be okay. I think that's all it takes to be a woman, Just pretending you're okay. And pretending and pretending and pretending and pretending until you're not sure anymore if you're okay. If we're okay.
We're all done.
Thanks, Jelmar. Looks great.
Yeah, I did a pretty good job. See you later.
Yeah, for the bit with the...
With the thing, yeah.
When Dad got home, all that had changed were the smoke alarm batteries and Mom's hair. She did that kind of stuff a lot. I mean, not all the time, just every few years or so. And I wish I knew what it was like. I mean, I can't know what it was like inside her head and what was going on in there. I'm not really sure, but it just didn't seem like there were many people who could get in there and set things straight when they got messy. I couldn't. Dad definitely couldn't. But Cindy could, though. I mean, Mom really relied on her. I see why they let me think they were sisters, because they were super close. Like, really, really close. I have a suspicion, more a theory. I know they both dated my dad, so maybe they also both dated each other. I mean, I don't know about before I was born or when I was younger, but lately, towards the end, there were signs. Like the girls' weekends, but not just that. Cindy would come while my dad was away on work trips, which isn't weird, but I wasn't supposed to tell him. And I think when I was like 11 or so, I mean, I can't know for certain, but I think I saw them kissing once. And now there's this. Aunt Cindy, can you come out here?
Don't yell.
Can you come out here or not?
Don't yell. It's not polite.
And since I've been living with Aunt Cindy, she's gotten forgetful, you could say.
Neil, it is so rude to shout like that.
I know, sorry.
You want dinner?
No, I wanted to ask you a question.
I can get you a Happy Meal.
No, that's not what I
You don't want a Happy Meal? The other meals don't come with a toy.
Aunt Cindy, can I ask you something?
Ask away, kiddo.
You and my mom, you guys were close,
She was my best friend.
and you loved her
I certainly do.
more than sisters do?
Michael, you know we aren't sisters. That's just what we tell Neil.
I'm Neil. I'm Michael's son.
Look a whole lot alike, those boys.
Cindy, was Valerie your girlfriend?
After 20-something years, I certainly hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too.
You want dinner? I'm gonna go get dinner.
Okay, drive safe.
Go clean your room before your mom gets home.
I know how it looks, but she drives better now than she used to. I put some money in her purse, she goes to McDonald's and then to the craft store, always comes right back home, like an outdoor cat. Totally safe. But, so, girlfriend, it's vague, but it's obvious, right? But what gets me, though, is where did my dad fit into all of it? I mean, for a guy married to a lesbian, he wasn't very open-minded. I mean, maybe she wasn't a lesbian. And maybe the three of them were like a sitcom 3 seasons after it should have ended. Everybody's already fucked everybody else, so the only thing left to do is pretend it never happened. Or, I mean, maybe she was a lesbian, and maybe Dad was her beard, and maybe they had some sort of arrangement or agreement so where he could protect her. Because Mom needed protecting. Not because she was or wasn't a lesbian or anything, but because she was Mom and she was always on the deep end. Like, here, I'll show you. Hey, guys, Adrian, Jalmar,
What's up?
we're doing the juice scene.
I thought we scrapped it for time.
We'll be quick. Just grab the stuff. Remember the juice scene from earlier where my dad spilled juice on his shirt? This is that.
Where should I set these down?
Anywhere, fine.
Start with the forearm, left to right.
The right, I'll do it.
Should I start?
Yeah, let's go from,
I just don't understand.
let's go from there.
I just don't understand it, Valerie.
Understand what, Mikey?
I do not understand it, Valerie.
Is this about the paper?
I'm a college-educated
I
man.
told you already
We're
he fell.
the top
The
of our
paper boy
class.
fell off his bike
Provide
and
for
got
this
hit by a
family,
car in the middle of the
you,
road. Broke his
meal,
leg,
I
2
provide for
weeks in
you
a cast.
and your
The
son.
paper boy broke his leg and can't ride his bike for 2 weeks. If you want a newspaper, you're gonna have to go to the store and buy it.
Now! If you ever speak to me with that tone of voice again, I will rip you off your goddamn face!
Actually, we can stop there.
Really?
We haven't even gotten to the juice part.
No, you're good. I just want to move on to something else.
Fine by me.
Yeah, I'll see you for the hospital scene, okay?
Oh, hey, for the ending scene, does she call you Bug or Buggy or anything else?
Bug.
Just Bug?
Yeah, Mom called me Bug.
And what did your dad call you?
Neil.
Okay. We'll see you later.
It wasn't the juice, it wasn't the car. I think maybe he was always gonna kill her. I don't think he hated her though, because he didn't kill her himself. He wasn't a real man. So he hired a guy from Twitter. I didn't know my dad had a Twitter, let alone could order a hitman from it. Funnily enough, Twitter saves your private messages for this very situation. Well, any criminal situation, not just murder for hire stuff. When my mom was in the hospital, the doctor told me that I should talk to her, that she'd recognize my voice. I didn't really know what to say to her.
Anything. Tell her about traffic, weather, the day.
But she can't speak.
So,
Why would I talk to her when she can't talk back?
it stimulates brain activity.
There's a tube in her mouth. How active can she be?
It technically extends down into her throat.
She couldn't talk back, even if she was alive.
She's still alive.
But she can't talk, eat, pee, breathe, see, hear, feel, or sit up. How do you know she's alive?
Until her heart stops, she's alive. Even then, we'll do CPR for 30 minutes just to be sure.
I think you made that up.
Just read her something. I don't know.
So I read her dad's messages to the hitman. My favorite one goes, I prefer if she were to die in a car fire while falling over a cliff, but money emoji. And I didn't know my dad used emojis. So if shooting her is cheapest, let's do it. And they messaged back and forth for a while, and he never mentioned to me. I did that for a while until Cindy found out, and then she told me it was wrong. Whatever. And then she gave me some books to read to Mom. Nothing special, just what she had in her purse. I read her Fahrenheit 451, I know about the Cage Bird Sings, a bunch of Edgar Allan Poe stuff, and Emily Dickinson. We were happily through their eyes were watching God. You know the part where Janie runs away to Florida and marries tea cake? Mom died after that chapter. And I didn't bother to read the rest of it. I wanted to read her Treasure Island because she read it to me when I was a kid. Also, Dad had died a month earlier. He shot himself with a gun I didn't know he had. I guess he thought the hitman would turn him in. So when the hospital called and told him that Mom was alive, hurt and bleeding, but alive, I guess he thought, well, fuck this. Oh, and I forgot. Before Mom died, she woke up for 95 minutes. She kicked me out of the room so she could talk to Cindy, and then she left, and then it was just us. And then she said, you know, don't you, Bug? You know your daddy raped me long time ago. That's how I got you, little Bug. And your daddy, he's a real menace. He kept hurting me even when you were in Mommy's belly. And he said he could because we were married and he loves me. Daddy loves you too, Bug. and then she died. And Cindy let me read the autopsy report. It's around here somewhere. Ah. Subject is a 44-year-old female with acute blood loss stemming from a single gunshot wound to the neck. And blah, 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 goes on for a while. Here we go. In unusual luck, the subject's thick metal necklace was struck and significantly slowed the speed of the bullet and altered its trajectory. So cool. However, subject's small stature likely compounded the issue with blood loss. At time of autopsy, subject is between 14 and 15 kilograms underweight for a female of her height. Organs are not fit to be donated due to tissue damage stemming from oxygen deprivation. Then it's more of the same. I've been separating their stuff into 3 piles: save, gift, and light on fire. The autopsy is definitely a save. And I'm gonna light the fire outside of Cindy's cabin. I go up there pretty often now. I've had my driver's license for a while, and now that I have a car, I can pretty much go up there any time I want. And it's not a new car, and it's not even new to me. It's a Chevy. It's my mom's. I wish I was one of those guys who could tell you all about makes and models and horsepower and cylinder and all that stuff about gas and steering. All I can tell you is that it's a Chevy. And that's all my mom knew about it. And Cindy's no use either. Cindy's one of those ladies. She gets everything for free, always carries cash, and she never got the hang of ATMs. And she's gotten into this habit recently, but she'll catch me as I'm getting ready or leaving or whatever, and she'll ask me if I need money, and I don't, but I don't say no. I mean, she just forgets she already tried to give me money. And Cindy also forgot I'm supposed to be in school, and after my parents died, my homeroom teacher, Miss Ratzenberger, she told me that I could take all the time I needed. Cindy hasn't said a word about school since. But she knows I'm not supposed to be home all day. I mean, she knows that. And as long as I'm, out before lunch, home before dinner, she doesn't make a fuss. And if she does, I tell her, it's a Saturday, even when it's not. Or she thinks I'm on a field trip. And so sometimes I pack up the car with all this stuff, and then I go to the cabin, and I just start going through everything. I'm up there for days at a time, just sorting, because it's a lot to organize, and it's all mine. All of it. So, here's the best place to start as any. All right, let's see what we've got in here. A bunch of paperbacks, fire. What's this? Tax stuff, fire. Oh, a laser pointer. That's definitely a save. And the rest of this is just a bunch of her necklaces, all tangled up. And I'll give these to my girlfriend, She likes to wear cheap junk. I've had lots of time on my hands lately, lots to work through. They got me a therapist for a while, but I just kept telling him to fuck off! I'm figuring things out, on my own. And I've learned lots of new terms, cycle of violence, cycle of abuse, lots of cycles, like financial abuse, hyperarousal, CPS, and protective factors, all of that. But, none of those are real. Those aren't really, what's happening to me. Sometimes I feel like I'm on a train, but not an actual real-life train or a subway or a metro or anything. A Wild Wild West train. The one with the big windows that look out on the desert as we pass by, or the prairie, whichever. So, I'm on the train, and it's going, I hear the wheels pumping, and I can feel how the train is shaking me, even though I'm not supposed to because of, I guess, physics or whatever. I shouldn't feel like I'm moving, but I do. And the people around me, the other passengers, they don't feel it. They're just sitting around in their top hats and hoop skirts, checking their pocket watches like we're not bouncing out of our seats. But me, I'm on a roller coaster, and we're coming up on a turn, and I've never driven a train before, but I do this in my car all the time. I go out on the exit, going way too fast, and I start to spin out, and the back of the car is catty-cornered to the front, and my shoulders go one way, the knees go the other, and the wheel just weighs a ton. And we're not going to make this turn. I don't know, we'll spin out and tip off the tracks. And I have to stop the train. And it has to be me, because no one else even notices. No one can tell that anything is wrong, even though everything is wrong. Everything is wrong right in front of you, and no one can tell. You're in a Wild Wild West, Dr. Seuss place, and the only way you know is because I'm telling you so. Maybe they think I'm the one with all the problems, but we're all living in the same train. We're all living in the same world. You live with me just as much as I live with you. You're me just as much as I'm you. The train is still speeding. The woman across from me is still just sitting across from me. I imagine tying her up, like in the silent movies, just so I don't hear any screams, because screams are gross. Whenever I feel like I'm on the train, I just close my eyes, and I imagine the wheels zipping through her skin, crushing bones, her muscles and tendons get tangled up in the spokes, her eyeballs found all weird. I open my eyes, everything's okay. I mean, he's been okay the whole time. That story should have a meaning to it. If you give me a second, I can fish one out. It should be something like sacrifice, or maybe like a tortoise and the hare thing. Maybe there's an Aesop's fable in here. I mean, it made sense in my head, but then now saying it out loud, I just sound like a villain killing damsels in distress. I mean, I'm not the bad guy, really. I mean, what I meant was that
Neil, you busy?
No, I guess not.
You haven't done the whole evil plan speech yet, right?
No, not yet.
Okay, look, I was thinking, since I don't come on for a while,
I mean, I could work in something new if you want.
there's no need.
I mean, we can do it as a bit with my dad.
I was actually thinking, if it's cool, I'm gonna take a quick nap, and would you ask J-Mar to wake me up?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, I appreciate it. And good luck with the whole evil plan speech.
Thanks. Where were we? Oh, fuck, Abraham threw me off. Just 1 second, it's just a lot to memorize about myself, I'm not like Avery and J-Mar. I don't do this kind of thing all the time. Let's just skip down to let's go to it's not an evil plan per se. Okay. So it's not an evil plan per se. More of an evil outline. Evil bullet points. So first point, intellectualize. I don't really know what that word means, but I know it means like thinking stuff through with internal logic and stuff, which is what we've already been doing here. So next thing's next. Second point, strategize. I'm gonna go visit my girlfriend at work. I'm gonna give her the necklaces. And I'm gonna tip her because of course I tip. I'm not a monster. And I'm gonna invite her to this cabin. I'm gonna drive her up there, and then when we get there, I lock all the doors and windows. And then around 2 or 3 a.m., I'm gonna drug her and then rape her. And I already got the drugs. You don't need to know who from. Just some guy who knew my mom. And the car's already full of gas. So on to the next step. The third point. All right, commit. Commit rape, sexual assault in the first degree if we're being legal about it. Specifically, DFSA, drug facilitated sexual assault. It's very difficult to prosecute. And if I was caught, which no way, but if, no weapons, she came up to the cabin voluntarily, can't prove she didn't take the drugs herself, no priors, and my girlfriend's not really that important to society, so probably a fine, maybe $100,000. Like I said, she's not worth much. You'll understand when you meet her. I mean, and even then, the worst of the worst really isn't that bad. Class C felony, 1 to 5 years, out on parole in 2. But still, how lucky would it be if they caught me and not my dad? But they won't catch me because of the fourth point, which is optional. Conceal. My dad didn't get caught because raping your wife is barely considered a crime. It really wasn't until like 1993 or 94. Anyway, conceal. Fix her dress. Set her hair right. Make sure she doesn't look like she got raped, and maybe she'll act like nothing happened. But she might not. And I'll kill her if I have to. Strangling her would be easiest. Or shooting her. I don't know. I'll see how I feel in the moment. And then I'll take her body out to the woods and soak it in deer urine because it attracts all kinds of animals. Bobcats, coyotes, cougars, bears, and even some snakes. And fifth point, stop thinking about mom. Self-explanatory. I'm gonna forget that deer urine if I don't write it down or something. Hey, J. Lamar?
Work scene, right?
Oh, in a minute. Can you remind me on the way up to the cabin that I need to stop and buy deer urine?
Where do you get that? What is it even for? Is there deer urine in a sea?
I'm going hunting this weekend. You know, to attract the bucks.
I didn't know you hunted.
Yeah, since I was a little boy.
Did your dad teach you?
I mean, I'm not doing a scene about it.
I
or
was
anything.
just curious.
No, one of Cindy's old boyfriends would take me, and she'd come too sometimes.
Is it safe to go into the woods by yourself?
I mean, I'm pretty experienced and I know the area really well.
What do you do with them, with the things? Do you eat them, or is it like fishing, where you sort of throw them back?
Fishers do that?
Oh yeah, I fish with my brothers and nieces and nephews. If the kids are around, we always throw the fish back in the water. Otherwise, you know, the kids start crying and all.
I mean, I make venison stew. It's really good.
You should take Adrian with you this weekend.
Really? You think he'd come?
I think he'd like it.
Okay.
Okay, well, finish up the scene and I'll be right back.
Oh, Abraham told me to tell you that he's taking a nap and for you to wake him up before his next scene.
Of course he did. I'll do it this time, but do not let him do it again.
Do what?
He asked you to ask me because he knew I'd say no.
Right.
Right! Finish up the scene and we'll run overtime. Like a leg.
Yeah. Thanks. Like she said, work scene next. What do I need? I need my cash, fake ID, necklaces. All right, let's go. Keys every time. This is my girlfriend. Her name's Viper. For $50, she'll tell you.
My name's not Viper. It's Jimmy.
Which is somehow even cooler. For 50 more, she'll tell you.
My name's not Jimmy. It's Mary.
But if you've known her as long as I have, she'll tell you.
My name's not Mary. So stop fucking asking.
So I just call her Viper. You should too. It's a respect thing. I also think she's probably hiding from someone. That probably has warrants out for her arrest, or maybe an old boyfriend or something. And she works here, where she's not exactly a hooker, but she's not really a law-abiding citizen either. Like I said, she's not worth much, which would make raping and murdering her super convenient.
What'd you say?
What time do you get off?
What do you care?
Because I want to hang out with you. Is that such a fucking crime?
Are we hanging out or are we fucking? Because I'm tired.
Oh, you're tired. How unusual.
You come in when I'm finishing an 8-hour shift and expect me to jump into bed. Of course I'm fucking tired. You know, Jesus.
Oh, so it's my fault you're tired. That's what you're saying. Because I drive all the way down this shithole to visit you. To give you a little respite against the flies that surround you like maggots on a rotting banana. But still, somehow, it's my fault that you're tired.
It's respite from, not respite against, you idiot.
Fucking slut.
No, I am not a slut.
Fucking slut.
I am not a slut. I am not a slut. And if I'm a slut, what does that make you, huh?
Dated who's dating a fucking
I'm
slut?
not a slut.
Fucking slut! Don't make me fucking repeat myself.
I'm sorry.
Whatever.
No. Neil, honey, I'm sorry. I don't mean to talk like that. I really don't.
But you do, and you do it all the time.
I know. You're right. I complain a lot. What were you thinking? What do you want to do when I get out of here?
Well, I was going to take us on a drive, but you're too tired. And I got you a present and everything. I might as well not even try anymore. And I do try. I try to do nice shit for you, and you shoot everything down with your tired horse shit.
I know, and I'm sorry.
You're always tired. Oh, my feet hurt. I have to go work. Oh, I have to go see a customer.
Customers pay my bills.
I pay your bills.
Not all of them.
I mean, how many bills could you even have?
You'll understand when you're older.
Don't do that.
Do what?
Talk that way to me, like I'm a kid.
Having money doesn't make you a grown-up. Makes you a kid with a wallet.
You take my money anyway.
Where'd you want to drive
We
to?
can go another time.
No. Let's go tonight. I can skip out of here early.
When?
Let me tell Chloe I'm leaving and we can go. Okay?
Yeah.
It's gonna be so much fun, I promise. Can't wait to open my present. I'll be right back.
We weren't always fighting. I mean, Pepper used to be cool, but that was before we were fighting a lot. I mean, but now I can't tell if we're having a bunch of little fights or if they're all parts of the same big fight, like the volumes in an encyclopedia. I mean, when we first met, she made me feel like I was a superhero, like I had saved her cat from a tree or something. But that was before I was giving her money all the time. Well, not all the time, just whatever she needed. When we first met, I was already a regular here.
Hey, you're regular here, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
What's your name, kiddo?
Phoenix!
Your real name?
Oh, it's Neil.
Neil.
With an extra E at the end.
An extra E. That's cute. I'm Viper.
That's your real name?
Obviously not. So, you mind if I sit here?
I mean, well, you just did it anyway.
So you don't mind?
I guess not.
Cool. So, I haven't seen you around a lot before. We haven't had a chance to get to know each other. Haven't had a chance to talk.
Do you need something?
What?
Money?
If you're offering,
Well, what did you want when you sat down?
I'd love to ask a favor. Would you sit here, just here while I do something?
Do what?
Not your business. Not just yet, anyway. So, while I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm going to be doing it right over there. You need to sit here and act like you don't see it. Okay?
But if I know what you're doing, I can't go back to not knowing. I mean, no matter how I act, I'll still know.
Just pretend. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Ronnie?
Hey, that's your boyfriend?
Ignore him.
He won't notice?
Don't pay him any attention.
It was a lot of that for a while. I was her boyfriend for her boyfriends who liked fucking other guys' girlfriends. I don't know, man. It seemed normal at the time. I mean, a lot of things used to seem normal. And then, one day, bricks start to crumble and, hey, guys! Adrian? Jay Lamar?
Oh, too much, not enough. What are we thinking?
No, it's good. It just doesn't need to keep going, you know, like the moments pass.
Right.
And then it gets distracting. So,
That's all?
yeah, that's all.
Alright, I'm gonna go back to sleep. Wake me up if you guys need me.
Jay Lamar?
Oh, wake him. Don't worry about it.
No, I just wanted to say that, that I'm sorry.
Honey, what for?
For, you know, I don't know, just between me and Ronnie and everybody, I just don't want you to feel like you're getting tossed around like a baseball.
It's just a job like any other.
But it's kind of like I'm making you do it, or at least I'm not stopping it or helping you out.
Do you know who I am right now?
Of course, I'm not stupid.
What I mean is I'm Jalimar right now.
I know.
Is this something you'd maybe want to say to Viper?
No, why would I?
Well, maybe you guys would get along better if she didn't think that you thought she was a cunt.
I mean, that's nice, but she is a cunt. It doesn't matter what I think.
Okay. I'll see you later.
So, bricks start to crumble. Well, no, that metaphor is too strong. It's softer. It's more like a flower opening up instead of footage. But that's kind of gay. I think the best way I can put it is like the fog coming off of your glasses. You know, they get foggy from steam or whatever, and then it goes away, and you're just wondering, is this how it was before, or is it different? And I can't tell. I don't know who's normal anymore. And I thought, whatever, you know, my parents are weird, but at least Cindy's normal. Divorced old lady who makes her own beaded jewelry. I mean, what could be more normal? And then I find out she's not just old, she's senile, and maybe, possibly, but most definitely fucked both of my parents. Maybe even at the same time. I don't know. Can't rule things out anymore. I mean, and obviously having a guardian, not normal. I mean, I mean, she wasn't my mom, but she could have been. I mean, Friends didn't start airing until like 1994. I mean, so having two moms wasn't too unheard of. And having two moms is definitely more normal than having a guardian. And, you know, one of the lawyers told me that I should be grateful for Cindy. Grateful that someone wanted to take me in, even when they didn't have to. Because then the kids that nobody wants get sent to foster care and group homes, which aren't prisons, but they really are. And I mean, I guess I'm glad Cindy took me in, but I don't know. I'd still rather have a mom. I was thinking in an effort to, build the brick wall back up, refog the glasses. I was gonna ask Cindy to be my mom. I don't know how good she'd be at it, but I think she'd give it a good shot. I just don't know how to ask her. I mean, I think the best way might just be to be honest. I mean, my real mom wasn't the best. She lacked a certain stability that she really valued in a mom. But she was really fun. I mean, we had lots of fun, I mean, especially during the summers. She was a teacher, so when she was off for summer break, so was I. And there was this one year she had this New Year's resolution, this goal to fix up the entire house, front to back, top to bottom, inside and out. So one summer, the summer between kindergarten and first grade, we overhauled the entire backyard. And our backyard had this really, really big, really tall switchgrass, like the kind that moths live in. I mean, and there wasn't anything wrong with the grass. It was just that we shared so the backyard was backed up to the alley, and we shared the alley with the entire neighborhood. So people would walk by and just throw their garbage and all of that in our switchgrass. So we just started really, cleaning it all up, and then we just started, just playing around, and I don't know, and then I picked up a big aluminum foil, and I threw it at her shoulder, and it bounced off. I mean, she wasn't that old. And then we just started playing around, and then we were just horsing around, and then Mom picked up I don't really know what it was. It was like a piece of a broken window, or like a shard of a broken window, and then I don't really know what happened next. I mean, her body went one way and I went the other. The moment we're playing, the next I'm crying and bleeding on the ground through my shirt. And my mom starts freaking out. She's like, Cindy, get the fuck out of here! Oh, and Cindy was there. I forgot to mention. And then Cindy comes out and she's screaming.
Jesus Christ, Val, what happened?
And my mom just starts pacing around. She's like, I killed him. He's only 5 and I already killed him.
You didn't kill him,
He's
Val.
bleeding like a stuck pig.
What happened?
I killed him. He's only 5 and Michael will never let me have another one after this. And then she went inside and I didn't see her for the rest of the day. And then she locked herself in the bathroom a few days after that. Meanwhile, I'm still on the ground, bleeding like a stuck pig, and I was in agony about it. It hurt so bad.
I know it hurts, Neil. I know, but I need you to show me where you were cut, okay, buddy? What? What cut you, Neil? Was it a nail or something? What was it? This? You're sure it was this? There's definitely some rust on there.
What does that mean?
It means you'll need a tetanus shot as well as some stitches.
But will it hurt a lot?
The worst part is already over, kiddo. Come on, time is in our front. Oh, Neil, before we go, let's set up some rules, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to talk to the doctors and nurses and everybody, and they might ask you questions, but you play pretend and act like you're really, really shy. So if I answer a question and you think I'm answering wrong, you won't say anything.
But why not?
It's a grown-up thing, buddy, okay? So here's the big one, big favor. I might say that you were playing by yourself and you fell down onto the glass thing.
But that's not
I
what...
know! That's not how you got cut, Neil. I know. But this is grown-up stuff we're dealing with, so you have to trust me, okay? So if I say that you were playing by yourself, what do you say? Exactly. Now come on. Once we're done, I'll take you to Toys R Us and we'll be home in time for dinner.
Can we go to McDonald's?
If you don't cry too much, sure.
I got 31 stitches. In hindsight, I don't think Cindy was as worried about me as she was about my mom. And she was a good girlfriend. I mean, for what she could have done better, I mean, at least she did something. Mom did, all she did was her best, I guess. But between the suicide attempts and the crying and the affair and in the hospital, she was just a lot to deal with. So I think that Cindy would be a nice upgrade. So I'm just gonna come right out and say, I'm gonna say, Cindy, will you be my mom? That's all it takes. Okay. Here we go. Cindy, can you come out here?
If I have to tell you one more time.
No shouting. I know.
If you knew, you wouldn't do it.
Cindy, can I ask you something?
Questions, questions, all these questions. Pick up the book. You'll have fewer questions.
It's not like that. Can I just ask you, please?
Ask away.
Can you be my new mom? I mean, now that I don't have one, I really think that I need one right now.
What are you talking about? You have a mom.
Cindy, Valerie's dead. She died. Remember?
Right. I knew that.
Of course you did.
Does Michael know?
Michael died too.
I knew that. I did. Things slipped by me here and there, but I knew that. Who's taking care of Neil?
You are?
Of course I am. Of course.
So will you be my mom? Be Neil's mom?
No, I don't know about that.
Well, why not?
Why not is a big question. I wanted to be his mommy. I really did, but we don't get everything we want in each life. That's just how it is. So I helped out. Gave them money, made sure Neil had stuff for school, new toys, new clothes, new shoes. Oh, kids go through so many shoes. You buy kids shoes, they grow out of them before the laces get dirty. Forget tenure, that's what I should have done. Kids shoes, that's the real racket. Now, I set up Neil's trust. And I keep my money all over the place. Diversify. That's just smart. But I always make sure there was something lying around for Neil. You know, I always thought... Hey, go get me a drink, would ya?
Did you want a water?
Of course not. I haven't asked for a glass of water once in my life. Before I die of thirst or sobriety, please. Now, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say, I always thought, maybe foolishly, that Valerie would wake up one morning with a pussy made of steel and leave. Just leave. No note, no nothing. Just show up at my front door asking if she could stay a while. And she stayed with me sometimes, never really stuck, and she never brought Neil with her. But, not my kid, not my business. I don't know what she told Michael, but she told Neil we were on teachers' conferences or vacation, something like that. And a week or so in, she would worry. Oh, he's getting into so much trouble without me there. And oh, Mikey can't take care of him by himself. Bull crap, all of it.
Here you go.
What is this?
It's a whiskey sour.
Why are you handing me this?
Because you wanted a drink.
Oh. No, thank you. I don't want that.
But you asked for it.
Don't throw a fit. You have it then.
Whatever.
Now, what was I trying to say? I was trying to say, not everybody is cut out to be a mom. Val wasn't, certainly wasn't. She loved her little boy, but that's not the same thing as doing right by him. You can love someone and still hurt them all the time.
What are you talking about?
What were we talking about?
Oh, well, we were talking about Valerie and Michael and how they're dead now.
You know, you're never truly a man until your father dies.
Huh?
Huh? Huh? You sound like a fish trying to breathe on land.
No, whatever you say. Cindy, you need to get to the craft store. You're late for your birdhouse making class.
I am? I better hurry. we're using the wood glue today.
Oh.
All right. Be good.
So, the birdhouse thing, obviously a lie. I mean, we would have been here for hours before she got to her point. I think it was something like, people aren't who you think they are, or something. Or maybe it was about Reagan. I don't know what it is about Cindy, but it's like everything leads to Reagan, like all roads lead to the AIDS crisis. But that last thing was weird, right? You're not a man until your father dies? Am I the only one who thinks that's weird and not at all related to Reagan?
Chloe's gonna cover for me. Ready to go?
Yeah.
Are you okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm fine.
We could wait a
I
bit.
said I'm fine.
Okay, you're fine.
Have you ever heard the
What was that?
have you ever heard the saying, you're not a man until your father dies?
Yeah, where'd you hear it?
Around? What do you think it means to you?
I guess it means you've always had an example, not an example, a blueprint, good or bad or otherwise. You've always had someone who did what you did before you did it, and then one day, just a day, not a special day even, you have to do things alone. I guess it also means the last thing your father can teach you is how to die, or how not to die, depending on the father.
Where did you hear it?
People were saying it's my dad when his dad died.
That sounds insensitive.
Well, it's just a saying. Nobody really means anything by it.
Right. It doesn't mean
Neil, it's okay not to have a dad. I don't have a dad anymore.
it. It's okay, but it's not normal.
Nothing is normal. I mean, truly nothing.
I don't have a mom either.
Don't need one. I never had one.
You never wanted one?
Not since I was about your age.
How did your dad die?
Like all good dads die. On his second heart attack.
Mine shot himself.
Well, that's certainly one way to do it. How's your Aunt Cindy, by the way?
What?
Your aunt with the memory issues?
About the same?
Have you ever thought about getting a, I don't know, a caretaker or something?
Like a nurse?
Not a nurse, and more someone to keep track of her state.
First date.
Can she put names to faces? Is she okay to drive? Does she put things back where they don't belong? That kind of stuff.
Sounds like you're angling for a job.
Am I getting anywhere?
I don't know, I mean, there's a lot of stuff at the cabin, but I think if we cleared it out and moved her up there, I think she'd feel more at ease.
Moving could be scary for her. It'd be nice to have someone to keep her company.
Like a live-in, not a nurse.
Could we go now?
Yeah, I mean, we can extend the drive a little bit and go up to the cabin. And, I mean, you can move in tonight if you wanted to.
Okay. Okay. Could we go? Could we go right now?
Well, yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Okay. When can I get my present?
Soon, you pretty little pig.
He wets the bed, you know. I don't remember for how long. I can't remember how long he's been living with me. I can't remember him moving in. I came out here to say something, but I can't remember what it is. Oh, he changes his own sheets. Things I haven't noticed. And I know things slip by me, but I'm still sharp here and there. And I know in my heart of hearts, something is wrong with that boy.
I wasn't really brought up with it, but I think it's pretty fair to say that any organized religion is about 2 or 3 shakes away from being a cult. I mean, there's just so many rules, and about the weirdest stuff, like what you can eat and what you can eat, like who you can and can't marry. I don't know. It just seems a bit intrusive. But I guess some people are into that, and I suppose there's supposed to be some element of fulfillment or something. Like I said, I'm not exactly an expert. Although I do know cults do tend to have a thing about dying or money. That's the thing, right? I mean, the only guarantees in life are death and taxes. It's not the worst thing to form a belief system around. But it does kind of go off the rails from there. I mean, Jim Jones didn't kill a bunch of people because of taxes. I mean, he killed them because of communism? I don't know. Maybe it does all get back to Reagan somehow. I don't know if I'm getting anywhere with this, so you'll have to bear with me or leave, you know, whichever's good for you. Anyway, I think all that stuff, you know, the religion and stuff, it's like in a different room on a different floor from believing in something. And I only bring this up because I finally got through this. Full to the brim, they're not journals, they're not diaries. She didn't really do those, but she was always learning, always studying some new something, and super obscure stuff too. Like auctioneering 101. She was studying to get her auctioneer's license. I couldn't tell you word for word. Farrier Sciences. It's the people who make horseshoes, who silent film in the Soviet Union. Highly recommend this one. And everything's super meticulous, and each entry is dated, and they go all the way back to before my mom married my dad. This is the first one, actually. Pre-Cana with Michael Monk 1. Pre-Cana is like SAT prep for marriage. It's a Catholic thing. And I didn't know. I was Catholic. I don't even know, were they both Catholic or just one? And then, if so, which one? I mean, in the book it says that a Catholic person can marry a non-Catholic person as long as they promise to raise their kids Catholic. So, somebody did. It's been dog-eared a lot, and some of the pages are falling out. I think she went back to it a lot for reference. I mean, there's 5 more of these, 5 more months. But it seems like she went to this one, the first one, the most. And she highlighted this part right here. Anyone who loves their life will lose it, while anyone who hates their life will keep it for eternal life. It's from the book of John. I looked it up. It's from one of those parts where Jesus is talking about how he's going to die soon, and he does that a lot. But this part specifically, I mean, I don't really think it's about marriage. I think it's basically saying, don't be an asshole, do good work, and don't eat fatty meats or get drunk because it'll give you a heart attack. Or thrombosis, whatever it does, or a stroke or something. I don't know. It's kind of like saying, live in excess, die in excess. And you can't expect something for nothing. You have to work for the things you want in the long term. I mean, marriage is supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be work so that it can be easy. I mean, you're supposed to put all that work and time and energy into the fighting and the silent treatments so that it can be easier. Because even when you're fighting, you're still married to the other person in your marriage. I mean, you're in it together. It's just you two. And I like to think that I don't really believe in any or all of this, but I'd like to think that it gave Mom hope and made her think there was a purpose to it, to the suffering. I don't blame my mom for trying to kill herself. If she thought there was everlasting love or life or whatever waiting for her, I mean, if it's a quid pro quo system of pain versus reward, then she's certainly earned her never-ending peace, or whatever they want you to think it is. And her first and last notebooks are nice bookends, a nice way to parallel the life. Her last one, here it is. taking like bullet point like type of notes, more like William Carlos Williams. This is just to say I've eaten the plums that are in the icebox. You know, notes on the fridge type of notes. Notes to God, suicide notes. And she was doing some research on suicide notes, the ones she liked and wanted to emulate, and lots of poems like this one. I will go yet another step further to the furthest edge, where my sisters, where my brothers stand, where our freedom begins, I will go. It's the middle part of a poem by May Ayin. She wrote it in 1990 in German. Do you get it? Freedom is, you know, freedom from our earthly woes or something. But freedom is in all caps, so you know it's important. And Mom doesn't really quite capture the unique erasure of the Afro-German experience in the 20th century the way Ayin does, but I guess that's the point. And she made a note in the margin to copy it down in the original German. I guess she never got around to it. And I should mention, May Ayin was getting ready for the 1996 Black History Month. You know, the February one, not the October one. And she had, I guess, a breakdown, and she, in the hospital, changed her medication. And they thought she had MS, so they stopped treating her depression. 2 or 3 breakdowns later, she walked off of a roof. Makes you think, huh, I wonder if she really had MS. And the next one's by Elliott Smith, the singer, and he wrote it, and then he stabbed himself in the chest. And then his girlfriend pulled the knife out, which you're not supposed to do. Survival tip, don't ever pull the knife out. You'll bleed right to death. Anyway, it says, I'm so sorry, love Elliot, God forgive me. Nice, succinct, and fits on a post-it, by the way. And these weren't drafts or practice. I think she was experimenting. I think she wanted to feel the feelings of writing a suicide note and feel how those feelings felt when she felt them. And I really like this one. Dearest, I am certain that I'm going mad again. I feel as we can't go through another one of those terrible times. I begin to hear voices and I can't concentrate, so I'm doing what seems best for us to do. You have given me the greatest possible happiness. I don't think 2 people could have been happier than we were until this terrible disease came. And then it just goes on about her depression for a while, but it really picks up at the end. If anybody could have saved me, it would have been you. Everything is gone from me, but the certainty of your goodness. I can't go on spoiling your life any longer. I don't think 2 people could have been happier than we have been. V. The V is for Virginia. It's Virginia Woolf's suicide note. And Dearest is her husband Leonard, and those 2, funnily enough, not too big on religion. And Mom had circled one part, the certainty of your goodness part, and then she also highlighted with a purple highlighter, if anybody could have saved me, it would have been you. But I disagree with Mom on that one. I think it's kind of like a backhanded thing to say, and almost a dig at Leonard. I mean, if anybody could have saved me, it would have been you. I mean, what's that supposed to mean? Well, because he loved her, he was supposed to stop her from stuffing rocks into her pockets and walking her own self into a river? I mean, what the fuck? I mean, what is he supposed to do? I mean, he'd already had her in and out of hospitals. She'd go to hospital, she'd get better, she'd get home, she'd go to work, and then she'd get worse again. I mean, he's not a fucking doctor. There's only so much that he can do for her that she can't do for herself. And then at some point, she has to say, Leonard, I need your help. Help me, Leonard. Help me, Leonard. Sorry, I got carried away there by the poetic wording. One more and then we'll get back to the story. The last one is a Sarah T. Stale. A lot of people think that it's her suicide note, but it's not. But if there are people who can't be convinced otherwise, then hey, it might as well. So, here is I Shall Not Care. When I'm dead and over me bright April shakes out her rain-drenched hair, though you should lean above me broken-hearted, I shall not care. I shall be as peaceful as trees when rain bends down the bough, and I shall be as silent and cold-hearted as you are now. I like it. I like the nature images, the imagery. And I would have read it at the funeral if I had read it before. Mom's, not dad's. But the rest of it is just, you know, she changed her spelling, you know, corrected a word or two here or there. But it all basically says, Michael, sorry for being such a troublemaker. The combination to my lockbox for my mother's birthday. Leave Cindy my next jewelry and tell her I love her because I really do. Close casket. Put me somewhere between a tree and a pond. Somewhere ducklings will water pass. Love you, John. I tore this thing apart. You know, fucking like deciphering it like I was in the Da Vinci Code, but she didn't mention me. Not even like an inside thing, which is kind of what the jewelry thing is, because Mom didn't have any nice jewelry, so it must have been an inside thing between the two of them. And I got hung up on the duckling part, but it didn't really hold any water. But aside from that, though, it's pretty nice. As suicide notes go, you know, not too long, not too flowery, you know, some heartfelt stuff, but get straight to the point. It's a shame she never got to use it. It seemed like she wanted to kill herself so badly, and then some guy named Gavin shoots her in the necklace. Not even in the neck, I mean, in the necklace. In the necklace, it's just not fair, and I don't know, I just really feel some type of way about it. I mean, suicide is generally frowned upon by religions. I mean, unless you're the Jim Jones type, which, you know, group suicide is definitely a good way to, you know, stand out. Well, not good, but effective. And I know we're a little bit off topic, but if you give me a minute, I'm sure we can make some sense out of it. Hey, Abrian, are you up?
Am I late?
No, I'm adding something in, if that's okay.
Yeah, what are we working on?
Well, I have an idea. I was hoping we could improv it or workshop
Yeah,
it.
you don't have to use words you'll think I'll understand.
Sorry.
So what's the idea?
It's basically about how all religions are basically cults.
Don't you think that's
I think it's what?
kind of banal?
What does that mean?
I don't know. Isn't shitting on religion some late 90s, early 2000s? Aaron Sorkin, Smarter Than Thou, atheist guilt trip deal? Oh. I mean, it's not necessarily bad. Yeah, it's not the first guy to flip off the boat.
Well, what does that mean?
It means that it's easy to criticize from the outside.
So, should I not talk about it at all?
What specifically do you want to talk about?
I guess suicide. No, what happens after death?
Like the afterlife?
Well, yeah, what it's based on.
Like what it looks like?
Well, more so the reasoning for who goes where and who gets what.
Shit, that's a big question. I don't know. I guess it's a combination of things, but it comes down to, you know, you got one life, so what do you spend it on?
I don't really follow.
Okay, so let's say you're a kid and you're at the mall with your mom, and there's that big stand with all the candy machines, and they're all a quarter. And your mom gives you a quarter. What do you choose?
You know, the watermelon bubblegum.
And why that one?
Because it's my favorite.
No way, mine too.
Oh, cool.
So it's like that. It's about your intentions and the choices behind them.
But if I pick the Skittles, I'm going to hell?
There's more to an action than its consequences. I'm starting to sound like my mom all of a sudden.
She's into this kind of thing?
Yeah, she goes to church twice a week.
If I asked her, what would she say she wants it to be like? Like when she, like after she dies?
I think she's a good person. And she probably doesn't think she is. She probably always thinks she could be doing more. But she wouldn't want endless riches or power or glory or all the good things she did to be done to her. She'd die and then wake up the next day on the ranch she grew up on. Get up super early and watch the sunrise with her parents, make coffee, and sit in a broken rocking chair.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, good, kind, humble people want humble rewards. And if you're doing it for the reward, are you really doing it at all?
So, second question. Faith. What's all that about? I mean, I know it's not exactly a religion thing, but...
Does everything happen for a reason?
Yeah, does it?
Funnily enough, my mom, she has a story about this. but she teaches kids, so it might be a little on the nose.
She's a teacher?
Kindergarten assistant.
Well, my mom had an AP English class for a while.
No way, did you spend your summers with her?
Yeah, I mentioned that in the script.
Oh, I must have missed that scene. So, anyways, fate. My mom, she was in college, and she was in a part of the city that she had never been to before. And she's going across this bridge, and as she gets across this bridge, there's this woman, and she looks pretty shabby. And the woman is crying, like full on sobbing, and there's this man in a suit sitting next to her, and he's not saying anything. And my mom's thinking, like, uh-oh, this guy is like, you know, he's done something that he shouldn't be doing. And so my mom goes over and asks the woman if she's okay, if this guy is bothering her. And she's like, no, this guy isn't bothering her. She's crying because she's grateful, because 2 weeks prior, she just became homeless. So she had been panhandling, trying to scrape up enough money to stay in a motel for the night. And I don't know, the guy gave her like a bill instead of change, and she was just upset at what her life had come to. So the fake part is the motel. The woman told my mom that she hated being homeless and that all she wanted to do was just to take a shower. And she rolled up her sleeves to show that she wasn't using drugs or anything like that. But my mom hadn't asked her to do that, so it seemed like someone asked her before they would give her money. And my mom said, you know what, drugs or no drugs, it wasn't her business. Everyone deserves the same place to sleep at night. The woman told my mom how much she needed, and that exact amount was in my mom's purse. Fate.
Cool. So is that like the saying that there's no coincidences, but
No coincidences, it's only God. Yeah, I know. My mom, she was one of her own after she had her heart attack and they shocked her back.
did she see something? Like was she like dead? I mean, not dead, but dead, you know?
Like, she never actually said she saw the white light or anything like that, but I think it was more of a feeling. All she says is, I met God, and she was kind.
That's a lot.
Yeah, well, you better get back to this scene, Neil. We found this whole scene without sex or violence, and they're getting pretty antsy.
Okay, I'll see you at curtain call.
Oh, and hunting this weekend, right?
Yeah, if you're up for it.
I mean, you're gonna have to show me the ropes, but I'm a quick learner.
Okay.
Knock them dead in this scene, man.
Like you said, I know we've been off track for a second, but try and keep up. So, this is it.
Really nice, really big.
Cindy's room is upstairs. The guest room's around the corner from the kitchen.
Clear out all these boxes. Could be nice.
You know, I'll help you fix it up and everything. You know, the patio needs regrouting, water heater's a little shoddy, a couple other things. It shouldn't take too long.
You don't want to wait until the summer?
Why?
You'll be off from school.
School can wait.
Cindy's that important to you?
I guess so.
So, God, I feel like a little girl all of a sudden. Can I have my present now?
Oh, yeah. Here you go. These are for you. So, here.
Wow, they're so cute. They don't make strong clasps like this anymore. Where'd you get them?
They're vintage.
Were they expensive?
I mean, a little.
Neil, all this is so kind. I had no idea you gave this much of a shit about me.
Of course I do. You're my girlfriend. You want to put one on?
Yeah, I like the details on this one. Will you do that for me?
No problem.
They're so big, I can only wear one.
What?
I usually wear 2 necklaces, a big one and a little pendant too. But I like vintage stuff. It's nice, don't you think, to wonder about who owned them before?
I mean, well, there's lots of crap and boxes and shit. I mean, you're welcome to anything you're buying here.
Really?
Oh, yeah, but it's mostly old paperbacks and old lady clothes.
You don't want any of it?
It's mostly my mom's.
Then you should keep it, at least some of it.
She's dead. I mean, what do I need it for? She's not exactly gonna crawl out of the grave looking for her knick-knack.
Don't joke about that.
About zombies?
It's not funny, Neil. We're in your mom's house, in a house that she cared about, surrounded by her things, where she held treasured memories with a woman that she loved. I'm wearing her necklace. Death isn't permanent. You don't know, you can't know. So don't make jokes. Don't invite bad things to happen.
How did you know that?
I'm not
That is her
stupid.
I didn't see.
I'm not stupid.
I didn't think you were.
Liar.
You want a medal for graduating high school?
No, that's what the diploma's for.
Don't be a fucking smartass.
Don't tell me that it's hard.
I mean it. Nobody likes a smart mouth.
At least I am smart.
What is all this attitude about?
You know
Jesus.
what? You make me so mad. You're making me fucking hysterical. Honestly, I would say you're getting on my last nerve, but you probably put it through a meat grinder when I wasn't paying attention.
Can you spell ungrateful?
Neale. Don't forget the extra E.
You're being a real pill right now.
Whatever.
Do you want a glass of water?
What?
You just seem really agitated. Can you just calm down, please?
Yeah. Yeah, I would like a glass of water, actually.
Okay. Take some deep breaths.
I don't know what's gotten into me. I'm not normally so... I think the car ride up here, I might be a little car sick.
Here.
Thanks.
Drink some water. Take some deep breaths.
Right.
Got yourself all worked up. Calm yourself down.
I won't drink this.
I mean, there should be some juice in the
You
basement
know
fridge.
what I
I mean,
meant.
I can make you some tea. I mean,
I'm not stupid.
it's a gas stove, so it might take a second for the water to heat up. I mean, but the tea is good. I can promise.
Take a sip.
Are you
Take a sip, I will if you will.
Fine.
Okay? Fine. I had more than that. You're bigger than me, won't affect us the same.
I mean, how
Finish it!
Happy? No, stop that. No, stop that. No, Viper, stop that.
Kill me, you sick fuck!
Neil slaps Viper's face. She drops her hands. Neil grabs her wrists in one hand and her throat in the other. They stand. Just calm down, okay? Just calm down, okay? You don't have to die. Please close your eyes. Let them get heavy. Go to sleep. It'll be over before you even know it started. The worst hurt is over already. I promise. I won't hurt you more than I need to. You'll be okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Good. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Viper clenches her eyes closed. She thinks about the smell of burnt popcorn. She vomits on herself and on Neil. Jesus Christ!
I'm not gonna die here. I won't let you kill me.
I know you won't. Viper grabs the empty glass. She smashes it under her foot and holds a large shard with both hands.
Where are the keys? On the hook over there?
Yes. Viper and Neil cross. Blood dribbles from her hands.
I'm not stealing the car. I don't steal. I'll put it in a parking lot somewhere. Don't come looking for me. I won't. Oh.
She was right. I mean, I ain't bigger than her. I built my tolerance to it. We should have felt it at the same time, except for the adrenaline. It's kind of like how you can get a paper cut and bleed and bleed and bleed, but you can stub your toe and then not know for hours because of the adrenaline. Now, the vomiting is a non-factor, but still gross. And I won't kill her now. I made her a promise. I'll wait till the morning and see how she acts then. But now that I'm here, I don't really know what to do. I don't know. Would this whole thing be easier on a bed or maybe on the floor? Or maybe I should just go for it here, or maybe in the chair. I don't know. Now that I'm here and now that I'm in it, maybe I should have just tied her up, or this could have gone so much smoother. Damn it! Okay. No turning back. Okay.
Neil, honey.
Jay Lamar, this isn't the best time to break character.
Will you take a seat?
No, I don't want to.
No.
Shut up!
What do you want?
What do you mean? We've had a whole thing like this whole thing has been about this.
Neil.
Like an hour and a half about how I'm not a bad person. Even though I do bad things.
Have you thought about it? Do you want to do bad things?
No,
You don't want to do bad things, or
I don't want to do bad things.
what do you want?
Do good things.
That wasn't so hard to figure out, was it?
I haven't figured anything out. I mean, people do bad things all the time, and nobody gets punished. I mean, people just go around just breaking things, and nobody cares to crazy glue it back together. So I would rather break than get broken. I mean, I don't want to do good things, and I don't want to do bad things. I just want the things I'm doing to be good.
It's not as easy as that.
Shut up!
This isn't what you want.
Just fuck off!
What are you doing? Get out of those dirty clothes.
Mom?
Neil, you stink. What happened? Did you get sick?
It was... No, I'm not sick.
Okay, well, let me get that shirt. I'm doing a load later anyways. Will this fit? Maybe a little big.
It's fine.
You're bigger now too.
Mom, you have some on you too.
Do I? Look at that messy gal, that gal. Clean as a bean.
Hey, Mom.
What, did you get it on your pants?
Mom, I miss you.
Oh. I figured you might. Sit down, let me fix your hair like I like to. It's a mess.
I miss you a lot.
I can see that. You've certainly been acting up, haven't you?
I guess so. Do you miss me?
A lot. A lot. A lot.
Okay.
Okay. You're okay.
I'm not okay. Like at all. Can I ask you some questions?
Of course, I certainly owe it to you.
Why did you name me Neil? And why the extra E? It's a real hassle.
I never said. For the author, Zora Neale Hurston, she used the extra E.
She wrote a book you liked.
Their eyes were watching God. You read it?
Not all the way through. How does it end?
Well, Janie leaves her husband, who's too old for her, for the very ambitious traveling man, and they move to a new town where he owns a store, becomes the mayor, and she gets fed up with him. And one day he hits her so hard, and later he dies. And all of a sudden she's got all this money and independence, and she marries a newer, fun guy, Tea Cake. They move to Florida, or maybe they were already in Florida. Anyways, she loves him so much, but he gets sick, mad cow or gravy, something like that. He's delirious. He tries to kill her, and then she has to kill him first in self-defense. She gets put on trial, gets acquitted, throws this big, expensive funeral for Tea Cake, and in the end, she goes back to the town where she was the mayor's widow. Tells her whole story again to her best friend Phoebe.
That's a nice story.
It's my favorite.
I like how she's happy in the end.
And she's happy in the middle some, too. You know, if you were a girl, I would have named you Zora.
Zora is way weirder than Neil.
Don't be childish.
Please don't get upset.
I'm not in the mood for it.
No one likes being upset, Mom.
Why are you trying to upset me?
Don't you think Cindy took advantage of you?
She's bringing you up. No one made her do that. You ungrateful little snot.
I'm not grateful.
Would you rather be in a group home? Knowing your dumbass, you'd probably run away, wouldn't you? Off into the street somewhere? If it weren't for Cindy, you'd be dead in a year.
Is that what she'd tell you?
We didn't speak to each other that way.
Because it's not true.
We didn't speak to each other that way.
And she was your professor.
A good one, too.
She was at least
It was
like
a
15
different time.
or 20 years
Women
older.
barely
than
got
you.
to go to college. The men professors tried to feel me up.
And Cindy didn't?
She was my friend.
That's not worse.
Oh, you're one to talk about fairness and all that. You're a bit of a monster, aren't you?
I am a monster. I know how Monster thinks. I know how Monster would think that the young student in their class would be an easy catch. But actually, the meek little girl who has ankles all the time, she'd be the easier kill.
She loved me.
And why do you think she loved you and not Dad?
She loved me.
Did you know you were gay before you met?
I won't speak about this anymore.
Okay,
Say you're sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. I forgive you.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
It's forgotten. More questions?
Why didn't you abort me?
Oh, Bob.
I mean, I know how it was when you two were first together. I mean, why not just make me go away?
Is that what you would have done?
What?
If you had gotten that poor girl pregnant?
I guess I hadn't thought about it.
Of course. Why would you? It's not as if there's consequences to your actions. You imagine having a son, and the only way you know how to raise him is the way that you were brought up. And then one day, you look down and there's another you. All your worst traits staring at you in the face.
So why not have an abortion?
Honestly, I never thought of it.
Are you lying?
No.
I mean, you're dead. You're not allowed to lie.
I took bad care of myself when I was expecting you.
On purpose?
Yeah. Not to hurt you, to hurt me, I swear. I never thought of aborting you or running off into the sunset, but I thought that if I took bad care of myself, when you were born, I'd get to die. And no one would be mad at me because they'd be too busy feeling sorry for you. I like the idea of sacrificing my life for yours. Something on that note, that symbolism.
sacrificing my life for my freedom.
Freedom and death.
Bingo.
I get you. I get it.
Would you do me a favor, Buck?
Okay.
Take care of Aunt Cindy until she's ready to see me?
I know she's not my real life.
I know. I'm sorry I lied.
But it wasn't a lie. It was more like a story. It wasn't all true. It wasn't all made up.
I just wanted her to feel like family to you.
I wanted her to be my mom.
Yeah.
What do you do while you wait for Aunt Cindy?
Mostly I dance and smoke.
Sounds alright.
It's nice for now. It'll be better when Cindy's here.
And what do you do then?
Dance and smoke, obviously.
We used to dance a lot.
The baby book said it was good. I tried, Bug. I really tried.
I know. Could we